Hey, how's it going? Jack here. Let's take a look at what's in the news. For the first time ever, the National Film and Sound Archive is adding video games to its collection. They usually only archive things like films, TV shows and music, but they reckon video games are so big in Australia that they deserve a spot too.
Ooh, retro. You are in a hidden path with trolls' footprints. Read map. Okay, this might not look like the sort of video game you're used to playing. But believe me, in 1982, the Hobbit text adventure was totally cool. Okay, I wasn't around in 1982, but so I'm told. It's one of 8 games that's just been added to Australia's National Film and Sound Archive. That's like a museum that collects important films, speeches, radio plays and songs. But the agency reckons that the video game industry is as big, if not bigger, than the film and music industry. So it's about time they recognised that. They've chosen a range of Aussie-made games from the past 40 years, like Shadowrun, a 1993 Nintendo role-playing game, Noire, a 2011 crime drama, and Hollow Knight, an underground action-adventure where all the characters are bugs. I like the sound of that. There's also an entry from this year, which is a VR stealth action game called Aspire. Wow, a lot's changed since the 80s.
Everyone's favourite environmentalist, Sir David Attenborough, has just launched Britain's newest polar research ship. It's called the RSS Sir David Attenborough. Wonder where they got the name from. The ship will travel to the Arctic and the Antarctic on scientific missions. And Mr. Attenborough hopes it'll help gather important info on climate change.
This is a global problem. If they can get together, I cannot believe that it would be possible to solve it. I believe we could solve it.
15 of the most talented Lego builders from around the world have been invited to show off their creations at the home of Lego. But these aren't your regular Lego creations. The builders were invited because their designs challenged the ideas of what's possible. There was a rock band, a coral reef, a tiger, a typewriter, and a moving head.
This is very special. It's not only is it sort of a beautiful model, a beautiful construction of a face, but it has a fantastic and surprising mechanism inside it. So when you open the head up, it reveals this fantastic creation.
The streets of Melbourne were packed with AFL fans today for the grand final parade. Players from Richmond and Greater Western Sydney were out and about today getting psyched for tomorrow's big match.
Dustin Martin, Tom Lynch, all of the big names were there today. Oh, and so were thousands of screaming fans. It's tradition for the 2 premiership sides to parade through Melbourne the day before the big game. And the AFL reckons around 100,000 people turn out to watch. It's especially exciting for GWS because this is their first grand final in the club's history.
I think we're just really excited. We understand that it's an important occasion, it's a big deal.
This 16-year-old from the Gold Coast has the need for speed. Bailey Hall is still on his L's, but he's about to be the youngest competitor in the Super Utes category when he lines up in next month's Bathurst 1000.
It's unbelievable to go to Bathurst at this age.
Hall has dreamed of racing supercars since he was a kid.
The biggest dream I've had since I was born, I reckon.
Sounds like he was born to race.
And now it's time for a segment we like to call Home is Where the Heart Is. And it's also usually where your house is. What do you do when you sell your 600-acre property but want to keep the 250-year-old historic house that sits on it? Move the house, of course. The Galloway mansion was picked up, put on a barge and set sail towards its new location. It's not every day you see a house floating in water, unless of course it's a houseboat. Spanish scientists have just discovered a planet that you definitely won't find a house on, because it's most likely uninhabitable. But they say GJ5312b, catchy name, is still a pretty cool discovery. The exoplanet is orbiting a red dwarf star, which is the most common type of star out there. But they say they've never seen a planet this big orbiting one. Cool. And for the past 69 years, this guy has been carrying his home on his back. And that's something worth celebrating. Hugo the Galapagos tortoise was treated to a literal fruitcake to mark his birthday, which from the looks of things was delicious. Well, that's all we've got for you for today, but who do you reckon's going to win the grand final? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe so you can check out all the cool videos we've got coming. See ya!